Hey everyone, it's Hannah and a bit of a different video today. I'm going to natter to you while I put some makeup on my face. We are going to have a chat about why I think it is important to support knitwear and crochet wear designers who are committed to creating size inclusive patterns. This is a topic I actually feel quite passionately about, and I know not everyone will agree. It's not something I ever considered until a few years ago, when a lot of discussions about inclusivity in fibre arts started, and some of the patterns that I have in my Ravelry library and some that I have knitted before very much not size inclusive. But since the discussions have happened and it's opened my eyes to it more, I have started to make the conscious decision to only buy patterns from designers who can be bothered to include everyone in their sizing. As a straight size person, I am very privileged that I can knit most patterns that are out there for garments. Now I say most because I can't knit all. I am a UK 14 to 16. I'm probably around a 16 right now because Christmas has just happened. And I am a UK average. I am an average size person in the UK. I'm also quite tall and I have mohair stuck to my lip gloss. But even though I am an average size in the UK, which would deem me somewhere in the middle, one would assume, I have too large a chest size to knit some patterns, so that's outrageous. So while I have the privilege to be able to knit most garment patterns out there, and before I would buy a pattern not really look at the size range unless it was one size fits all, in which case I just kind of be like, cool, I'm not in that bracket. But while I have that privilege, many other people do not, and I believe it's important to not grow complacent with this, to not expect this to be the norm, and to not just be like, well, it's just how things are done, because unless these discussions are had, nothing is going to change. We can't just accept this small bracket of sizes that people are making in their knitwear designs just because it's easy or it looks better or whatever silly excuse people have. And yeah, we need to have these discussions in order for change to happen, because I want the standard to be every jumper design that comes out needs to fit from this size to this size, and unless we talk about it and demand it, it's probably not going to happen. But anyway, I am going to jump scare now to past me before I have any makeup on, and yeah, let's get this conversation rolling. So last week I saw a pattern that I really liked on the Instagram Explore page, and I thought, fabulous, wonderful. I mean, I've already made my plan for the year, but plans can change, that's also fine. I'll click through, tap through to the designer's page. Absolutely stunning patterns, almost 200,000 followers. Her patterns must be good. So I went onto her website and I had a look at her jumper patterns. And this one in particular that I was looking at, I was horrified when I looked at the sizing. It ranged from 98 centimeters, or I've written this bit down, 38.5 inches, up to 125 centimeters, which is a 49 inch, and that's the chest measurement. So there was nowhere on the pattern that stated what the intended ease was, but most patterns start at a 30-inch chest. So we can assume it's about an 8-inch difference, which is around 20 centimeters. This would make the top size of the pattern for a 41-inch chest, which is 105 centimeters, which, you know, is my measurement. Now you may be thinking, Hannah, that's fabulous news. You can knit that pattern. That is a pattern you can knit because it goes up to your size. You know what? Technically, you are correct. You are not wrong. But the thing is that I make a point of only supporting designers who want to see everyone in their knitwear, who want to include and crochet, who want to include everyone in their design, who put in the work to make everyone feel included. I'm just going to let that sink in for a bit. So the standard I look for when I look at a pattern is to fit up to a 60-inch chest, which is 152 centimeters. And this doesn't include the intended ease for a pattern. If a pattern has an intended ease of 12 centimeters, I expect that pattern to go up to a 72-inch chest. You know? Now the person who is knitting the sizes might not want to have that much ease. They might want less, in which case that's absolutely fine. They can knit a smaller size. But if you've designed a pattern with intended 12 inches of ease and you only go up to a 60-inch bust, then, or chest, then it's not really enough, is it? You only go up to a 48-inch chest. So in case you weren't aware, I am someone who creates a lot of knitting and crochet content. Hello. This means that I'm constantly promoting patterns. And I don't mean I'm being paid to promote these things. I don't just mean patterns. I'm constantly promoting things. I'm promoting yarn that I buy, yarn that I use, patterns that I buy, project bags, all of that. And I'm not paid for these promotions. If I am paid for a promotion, I let you know. Because that is the law, by the way, in case you weren't aware. Now, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent, but I want to promote businesses that have morals and standards that meet up with mine. And I'm not going to tell you which businesses you shouldn't support because you may have differing values to me, and that is absolutely fine. But you will see some businesses that exist that I do not talk about on this channel. You will see some designers that I do not talk about on this channel, and you'll see some yarn dyers that I do not talk about on this channel. And you will notice there are some businesses, designers, people that I used to talk about that I no longer talk about. And that is a conscious decision. There's been a lot of, well, I mean, I don't want to call it drama because drama makes it feel frivolous, and it's not frivolous. They're big deals that are being talked about, but I currently don't have another word in mind. So I'm going to call it drama, but realise that I don't mean this lightly. But in the online knitting crochet community, over the last few years there's been quite a lot of drama stirring up, and for good reasons. These conversations have raised a lot of discussions about inclusivity in the fibre space, and I absolutely love that, and that is surrounding issues of race and sizing and sexuality and all of this fun stuff. It's essentially making people feel safe in the fibre community and welcome, which I very much want in the community I have created here on the internet. Once again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you who to support and who not to support. A lot has kicked off, and it is very difficult to keep tabs on who is cancelled, for lack of a better term, and who isn't. Sometimes I wish that there was like a fibre arts community YouTube drama channel like there used to be about makeup YouTube channels back in the day. Because it would be even a blog, be so much easier to keep tabs on everything. I've contemplated it myself, but I don't think I could handle the backlash, so I'm not going to. I just try to keep tabs on things as and when I can, and when anything big happens, I share it on Instagram mainly, because that's where all the conversations seem to happen. Now not everyone can use Ravelry. Anyway, I've gone on a tangent. Let me get back on track. What I am saying is, if I am excited about a knitting project that I have taken hours working on, and I'm all enthusiastic about it, and I love it, and I love the fit, and I love the shape, and it makes me feel so good in my body, and I just feel fantastic, and you look at me in that and you think, yes, I want that too, I really, really want that, that looks amazing on you, it's going to look amazing on me, and you go to the pattern and find that it doesn't cater to your size. I don't know, I just feel, it feels heartbreaking. I'm not a pattern designer, in case you weren't aware. I make stitch markers, I dye yarn. This is my own hand dyed yarn, it's very nice. But I am not a pattern designer. I have friends who have designed patterns. I have friends who have edited patterns, tech edited patterns, and I have vague knowledge in the thing. I'm not good at maths. Did I say this? I thought it if I hadn't said it. I understand it's not easy to grade a pattern. I get it. But if you're going to make the effort to grade from a 30-inch bust to a 41-inch bust, chest, add a few more sizes in. Make the effort. Up the sizing. Include everyone. Why would you not do that? And if it's because you don't want to see fat people wearing your designs, then, you know, that's a whole issue within yourself that you need to look at, really, isn't it? I know for a fact that you can pay people to grade patterns for you to fit you. And I know that that isn't an accessible choice to everyone, because I understand that that is an expensive thing. Along with tech editing, it can be expensive. But if you're passionate about designing garments and including everyone, and you don't want to do the work yourself to do the maths, it's a definite option. And especially because this person that I was looking at is a full-time knitwear designer, with a lot of people knitting their patterns, I feel like it's definitely a luxury that they could afford to include everyone and allow everyone to knit their patterns if they actually wanted to. So last week I did a poll on my Instagram story asking if people knit only size inclusive patterns. I was surprised by some of the people who said no, because some of them were yarn dyers, and I think if you're knitting a pattern, especially out of your own hand-dyed yarn, why would you instantly want to exclude a lot of people? But yeah, it was 73% of people said they did only knit size inclusive patterns, which I was very pleased to hear. But 19% of people said that they never check, which I was very surprised about, because I feel like this is something I talk about quite often, but maybe I haven't spoken about it in a while, and maybe these people haven't been following me for a while, so maybe that's my fault. I've got several messages from people saying that it's never even a factor that they would have considered, that they had considered, but they will be sure to look out in the future. And yeah, I guess it's a definite privilege to not have to look at the top sizing of a pattern. I also got some messages from people saying they don't only knit size inclusive patterns because they're more than happy to do the maths themselves. But my question is why? You're paying good money for a pattern, because let's face it, knitting patterns aren't cheap, because there's a lot of work and money that goes into them, like I earlier stated with tech editing and such. So, you know, knitting patterns need to be the price that they are, if not more for some people, because they're not charging enough, not because some people deserve more money than others, but you know what I mean. And if someone is charging good money for a pattern and you're paying good money for a pattern, then why on earth should you be expected to do the maths to work out how to grade it up yourself, you know? Here's my blusher brush. So another little side tangent I have is that not all size inclusive patterns are created equal. This was something that was raised to me by one of my friends who is a knitwear designer, and it was pointed out to me that sometimes the straight sizes of a pattern do not look the same as the top end sizes of a pattern. I'm guessing this is a grading issue, but I'm not a designer. Bodies don't increase in size all the way as, you know, people are bigger. So you see huge gaping neck holes. You see really baggy arms, lots of extra fabric under the arm where the increases are slightly off, and it's just a bit awkward. So I get that, you know, the maths of grading is tricky, but you're designing a garment, you're charging for the pattern. I feel like the minimum thing to do is to put the work in. Another issue, interestingly, that was raised to me after I did the Instagram poll, is someone said that they don't only knit size inclusive patterns because a lot of patterns start at a 30-inch chest, and they are smaller than a 30-inch chest, so can't actually fit the size inclusive patterns, which I won't lie, I'm quite embarrassed to admit, I didn't even consider and didn't even look at. I tried to have a Google to see what like the typical size range should be for a knitting pattern for it to be considered size inclusive, and no one could really agree on anything. So if anyone actually knows, please let me know. But it seems like the standard is a 30-inch chest. But if people are smaller than a 30-inch chest, is it really size inclusive? Should adults with a chest smaller than 30 inches be expected to knit or expected to grade down or, you know, essentially knit patterns not designed for them? It's ridiculous. I just truly believe that knitting should be for everyone. It should be for every body type. It should be for, you know, anyone who wants to knit a pattern should be able to knit that pattern. And the cost of yarn for larger size jumpers is a whole other issue, and I am currently trying to work on a solution for that in my own shop, because it is something that I am very aware of. I've come up with some ideas before, but I can't see a way for Shopify to make it work, so I'm going to keep doing some digging just to make it a bit more affordable for everyone. But I will hop off my soapbox now. I just want 2023 to be the year that the norm for knitting patterns is up to a 60-inch bust, and maybe smaller than a 30-inch, but you know, to include everyone. Essentially, this makeup brush is terrible. I need to chuck it out. It's so old. It's gone a little frizzy. Please note that I have made the conscious decision not to name any designers or dyers or anyone in this video. I am purposefully not calling people out. That is 100% intent. Any comments left that are calling people out, I will delete. I generally don't heavily moderate my comments too much, because if anything nasty is said, it's usually, it's going to be about me. And luckily I don't get that many nasty comments. But if you're going to be ranting on someone else, that is my prerogative to delete. I will leave some, oh, these are filthy. I will leave some video suggestions in the description box below of some people who have some lovely videos about size inclusive patterns. Nina of Nina Maria Designs has done a lovely video about alternative patterns. If you like this jumper, you might like this one because the initial jumper isn't size inclusive, blah blah blah. So yeah, let's make 2023 be the year that we set a new standard in pattern designing. And if there is a thing that I'm not aware of that makes people not, you know, make size inclusive patterns, please let me know, because I am aware that I can be very ignorant. I am open to ignorance. And yeah, I just want to stop supporting designers who don't want to put in the work and raise up designers who put in the time, the effort, the money to include people. Let's just stop supporting lazy designers, you know? And if you don't want plus size people to wear your jumper designs, your garment designs, maybe don't design garments. Let me know who your favourite size inclusive designers, patterns and the like are in the description box below. This is the Trilogy sweater. It's by This Bird Knits. It's lovely. It's like wearing a hug. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you hadn't thought about size inclusive patterns before, if it's nothing that's ever crossed your mind, let me know. I'm very curious to know where you stand on the issue. Please be kind to each other in the comments. Please be understanding to each other in the comments. If someone has a differing opinion to you, that's also fine. Don't be nasty about it. You know, I'm trusting you all. You're all adults. Come on. For the most part, I'm hoping anyway. If you would like to follow me on social media and would like to check out anything else, it's all in the description box below. It'd be lovely if you stuck around. So if you want to subscribe, I post a new video here every single week. Last week I had a little chat and pack with you while I packed up some of your orders. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know how your week has been. What have you been up to? Do you have any new projects on the needle? Your favourite jumper designs? Have you even knit a jumper before? Why not? You definitely should. It's very liberating. Much recommend. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye.